Briefing for Wednesday, the 15th of May. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Patch. Yes, yesterday was Patch Tuesday. Microsoft had, I think, only one particularly high severity bug, or maybe two. However, there is one CVE 2024-300-40 that has been listed as having exploitations detected. It's a security feature bypass bug in Windows MS HTML and gets a CVSS score of 8.8. So if for no other reason, I would recommend that you should be updating that ASAP. 60 other bugs are in this month's round, so definitely worth pushing those through. Now, as we have said earlier in the week, the time between the disclosure of things and them being exploited is shrinking. So do make sure that this sits somewhere fairly high up in your priorities for this particular week. Apple, we mentioned some of this, but there are updates to all things Apple. If you haven't already got them, do appreciate they released these. I don't know whether it was yesterday or the day before that they actually some of these came out, but Apple devices will catch up. However, if you're particularly worried, you can nudge any of your devices to go and get the updates already. My personal devices were queuing, so I've nudged them. So they're all up to date again now, which is good, and I would recommend you do the same. There is a Chrome bug that is being exploited, CVE 2024-4761. And according to the article in the Register, it has already been exploited by miscreants. Yes, okay. Well, we don't want to be exploited by miscreants. So it's an out-of-bounds write bug in the V8 JavaScript engine. Not much in the way of details at the moment, but the patch is out there. And talking of all things Google, the Android updates patching 38 vulnerabilities this month. So if you're using the Google version of Android, all well and good. If you are using your own device manufacturer's version, check in, make sure that the updates are there and you are getting those installed. VMware has updated VMware Workstation and Fusion, patching 4 security vulnerabilities. Most serious of which is a use after free vulnerability that gets a CVSS rating of 9.3, so fairly easy to exploit, fairly big impact. So yeah, if you're using VMware Workstation or VMware Fusion, again, have a look. Patches are out there. Adobe has released 8 patches covering 37 bugs across various products, including Acrobat and Reader and various other things. SAP, where are we? Yes. SAP has released 17 new and updated patches. One high priority. So if you're using, does anybody still use SAP? If you're using SAP, oh dear, I can see the comments. Oh no! But yes, if you are still using SAP, there are patches available. Intel, interestingly, has weighed in with 41 updates. Only one of the security updates is deemed critical, and it fixes an escalation privilege bug in Intel's neural compressor software. So yeah, if you're using Intel-based stuff, there are patches out there for you. So on other matters, there's a proof of concept exploit that's been released for remote code execution vulnerability in D-Link's EXO AX4800 series routers. There's a good write-up in Bleeping Computer that actually gives some very good indicators of compromise, indicators of attack, and talks in enough detail to understand what's actually going on when these devices are being attacked. But basically, it's you can send a crafted HNAP login request to the router's management interface, which can be used to generate a valid login password for the admin account. Patches are available as far as I can see. And in the meantime, mitigating actions would be, well, only make your admin interface available to trusted administrators, hopefully, or from trusted devices or from trusted networks. And then finally from me today, Singapore cybersecurity update is, well, Singapore is amending its Cybersecurity Act, giving their cybersecurity agency more power to regulate critical infrastructure and third parties. So Singapore is, I would say, a world leader in cybersecurity. Singapore takes critical national infrastructure cybersecurity events very seriously, and given where they are and the potential stuff that's going around in that part of the world, it's not surprising. Be aware then that there have been changes, and these changes might affect you if you've got systems that are based in Singapore, or you work with Singaporean companies. The reporting and so on. There's quite a lot of potential changes that are being introduced to that regulation. There's a good article in Dark Reading which we will link to this briefing, so if it does apply to you, you've at least got the starting point for doing some research on whether this will or won't have any impacts on the stuff that you're doing in Singapore. That's all from me for today. Have a good one.